I'm on the phone with Todd Tucker. Todd, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Bill. How are you?
Oh, not bad. You've started Illusions Industry.
Yeah, I started Illusion Industries with my partner, Ron Halvis, about almost 3 years ago.
And what does Illusion Industries do?
Illusion Industries is a special effects makeup, creature, and character company. We do a lot of prosthetic old age makeups, monster makeups, puppets, specialty costumes, and we also have an in-house production company, and we do in-house films where I direct and we produce.
How'd you get started?
You know, I met some people back right when I was about to graduate high school, a guy named Matt Rose and Steve Wang, and these guys were in Northern California where I lived, and they were doing special effects out of their garage, and they started teaching me, and I started doing the same thing, and then they moved down to Los Angeles in '85, became really, you know, well-known, famous effects artists, and then I came down a few years later, right around '90, and they opened some doors for me, and I've been working ever since.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. You know, and you know, I'm reading here too that you have branches out in Louisiana and even Moscow.
Yeah, we back when not this company but myself and the creative team here have been together for quite a while. We were working on the movie Benjamin Buttons, and that shot in Louisiana, and that was kind of right when all of the tax incentives for films to go to Louisiana started, and then films are going there all the time, so it makes sense for us to open up a branch of Illusion there. And then we were approached by one of the head of the film commission in Moscow that had said they had gotten a lot of money from the government was going to go into the films, and they wanted to upgrade the quality of their films, starting with the makeup effects, and wanted to partner up with us. So we've done about 5 Russian films over the few years. Wow.
What was the first film you started on as a special effects guy?
The first major film that I started on was Hook, Steven Spielberg, which was amazing because Steven Spielberg, all through growing up, has always been my all-time favorite director. Some of the best movies of my childhood ever that scarred me for life. So starting on Hook and and I sat there and just watched him because I knew eventually I wanted to direct also. So I just sat there and studied the guy day after day, and it was amazing.
You had a great opportunity.
I got an opportunity that most don't get because I got to just sit there and watch him day after day and see how he interacts with the actors and how he sets his shots, and it was great. And I do that every time I'm on a major film with a director that I really respect. I sit there and watch him as much as I can. And then for quite a few years, I was also an actor and started playing a lot of creatures that we were building, and got a decent reputation as a creature guy. So it helped also for that respect for me to understand as a makeup artist what it's like to have to be put through all these makeups. As a director, it was great because when I was acting and I could find out, kind of see what inspired me as an actor, I can now as a director turn around and translate that to my actors. So wearing the different hats really made me understand how to direct a lot better.
That makes sense because you can see what the actors were dealing with what you were creating for them to wear.
Well, it's also knowing how to motivate them and get the performance you want.
You know, you've done a lot of movies. I'm reading here, Beautiful Mind, Alley, Watchmen, Big Mama's House 2, America's Sweethearts, 9 Months. It just goes on and on. Is there a favorite movie that you've enjoyed working on?
I gotta tell you, to be honest with you, one of my favorite movies, we did the SMURFS 2 just recently.
Oh, okay.
And we did the first one, but when we created and designed the Gargamel makeup for Hank Azaria, they were shooting in New York and we had another movie going on. We couldn't actually be on set for the 3 months to apply it, so we handed it off. But we did SMURFS 2 last year, and I went up to Montreal and applied Hank's makeup for the whole film. And I gotta tell you, the crew on that film was so professional and so nice that the experience was just really cool. And Montreal was a great place to be, and it was just a really good experience. And Hank was a great actor to deal with, and he really brought the makeup to life, which is great when you see your character that you've created, play it off as well as Hank did it. So
you can't tell the character right now because the SMURFS 2 is coming out. What's that? Released on July 31st, I think, right?
The same character. It's the Gargamel character that we did on Hank for the first one.
Oh, okay, and that's starring Katy Perry, Neil Patrick Harris, and Sofia Vergara. Is that how you say her name?
Yeah, she came on set. She was beautiful. It's gonna be a really cool film. It's it's a family film. It's for kids, but it's a really well-made family film, and the director Raja really knows his stuff.
And you have another film, ICEMAN. What's ICEMAN about?
ICEMAN's cool. ICEMAN is a true story about a really badass mafia guy back in the 70s called Richard Kuklinski. They did a whole bio on him recently, and they did a film on it, and Michael Shannon is playing the character. And I don't know if you know who Michael Shannon is, but I got to tell you, in my career, I've only met 3 people that kind of made me a little nervous because of how intense they were.
Oh, okay.
One of them was Jack Nicholson, one of them was Gary Oldman, and the other one was Michael Shannon.
Wow.
That guy in this movie is so intense. He's a great actor, and it's also got Chris Evans, Captain America, in it, and he looks so cool. We designed all the looks for the characters in the movie, and it's a period piece back in the 70s. So it was really interesting. And it's I'm not really into mafia movies per se, but I gotta tell you, after seeing this, I would say this is probably one of the best mafia story movies since Goodfellas.
That releases in May 3rd this year.
Actually, to be honest with you, I didn't know when the release date. I was waiting to hear. So if you're telling me May 3rd, I'm loving it.
That's what. That's just coming right up. And then,
nice, okay.
Yeah, and then you have the Paramount's G.I. Joe Retaliation, set to be released March 29th, so that's only a couple of months away. And that's starring Bruce Willis and Shannon Tatum. What'd you do with that one?
Well, we did all of the makeup effects. I can't tell you what we did because they don't want us to talk about it until after the movie, but I can tell you this. Jonathan Chu, the guy who was the director on this film, the first movie was good, but it had a very kind of, for me personally, had a very kind of a CG game kind of a feel to it. It was very, in that respect, is the way it was made, which is fine, but this movie looks like it's really happening. It looks like an entire practical movie, and the director did such a great job making it feel like everything is completely real. The performances that he got out of The Rock and Bruce Willis and all these guys, it's a really good, fun movie. I think the fans are going to think this is a huge step up.
You know, I enjoy all the superheroes movies. I've seen them all. I enjoy watching Bruce Willis. He puts on a good show.
I don't know if this is on there or not, but we also just finished in December Fright Night 2.
Fright Night 2?
Yeah, which is the sequel to Fright Night with Colin Farrell that came out about 2 years ago, which was a remake of Fright Night the movie back in the 80s, which was a great movie.
And that's, well, you just continually work on movies, a lot of movies.
A lot of sequels this year, I'll tell you that.
You're big in demand.
You know what? The thing that's funny is these are all movies that have been made over the last 2 years, and for whatever reason, they're all getting released at the same time. So it's, you know, we've been working relatively nonstop for the last, you know, since I started Illusion 3 years ago. But everything for the most part hasn't came out until this year. We have 7 films coming out this year.
These are good ones. What you're telling me about, because I would just see G.I. Joe as a natural, but when you tell me about what the ICEMAN is, he's a hitman?
Yeah, he was called the ICEMAN because of the way he dealt with his victims. It's all a true story. The director is a first-time director. He did a great job. He's got Winona Ryder. He's got Ray Liotta. I mean, he's got some big-hitting actors in there, and they get great performances. So it's really an actor-driven film. And to be honest with you, it's not as violent as I thought it would be, and it's not as gory as I thought it would be, which was cool because it was as cool as it was, and it didn't have to go there.
Where was he doing his executions then?
Oh, I can't give the story plot away, but I can just tell you that it has to do with an ice cream truck.
Ice cream truck, wow.
You can use your imagination, but yeah, Iceman, ice cream truck, it doesn't end well. We did another movie this year where it wasn't a heavy effects film, but they had a scene that needed some heavy effects called Fort Bliss, which is another drama.
Fort Bliss, yeah.
Because ultimately, out of all the 7 films we have coming out next year, we've got family, we got a horror film, got drama, we've got action. It's all over the board, which I think is pretty cool. A couple years back, I came up with a storyline and worked with a screenwriter named Timothy Dolan, and Timothy and I came up with something called Monster Mutt, which is a very Spielberg E.T.-ish kind of family film with all practical effects. It's meant for little kids. It's a little monster movie for like 5 to 10-year-old kids about a dog that gets turned into a big, giant, lovable puppet dog, fantasy kind of a thing. It came out as a Walmart exclusive. It won the International Family Film Festival, and it is now available to buy as a DVD at Walmart.com, Target.com, Amazon.com, and it just came out domestically on DirecTV, iTunes, and Vudu last Monday. We have 2 new productions that we're going to be doing this year that I'm directing and we're producing. One of them is a big-scale dark fantasy film, and the other one is a supernatural action film.
Supernatural action. Those are fun too.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's for a much older audience. My last one was 5 to 10. This one is nowhere below 15.
That's for me. Okay, the supernatural action type of thing.
If the audience is interested, they can see a lot of this stuff on the Illusion Industries website, and they can see a bunch of the different creatures and characters from different films that we've done, and there's also a section in there that shows a video that shows some of our studio with all of our displays, and then also some of the productions that we've done in the past.
What's the website? Is it illusionsindustries.com?
Yeah, Illusion, ILLUSION Industries, INDUSTRIES.com.
Well, thank you very much, Todd, for joining me today on the telephone, and I look forward to everything that you've been creating out in the world, and I'll be following you on Twitter, and you have a great day out in L.A. It never is a bad day in L.A.
Bill, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Todd.
All right, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.